Alrighty, guys, welcome back. I know it's been a long time. I've been busy with life, working at a game studio, releasing games, and all that. Today, we're going to continue, sort of, into the deep track. I have decided to start taking about an hour every morning to work on this game that I will be streaming. So it'll be roughly around this time. Spent about half our hour setting things up. And today we're going to go over the game that we'll be making. This is going to be a side project to Into the Deep. This is going to be a fan game where we're going to explore some of the mechanics and things that I want to have Into the Deep. But I figured it'd be fun to make a fan game. This is for Lily Pichu, based off the song Nightmares. You can see it in the thumbnail. And we'll go into it. Let me just get Unity opened real quick, and then I need to post real quick in Discord. So this game is in part inspired by a game called Wild Frost, mostly because of the scale of Wild Frost. Wild Frost is a game that was made, I believe, by 2 people, not 100 on that. And it has a very reasonable scale. The scope is set up well. Alright, so let's go into it. So I've already set up some things inside of Unity. We've got a couple plugins installed. First, let's go over the game design. I could also pull up, let's see here, Wild Frost gameplay. There's only a few things that we care about from Wild Frost's gameplay. It's a card game. We're not making a card game. Let me pull this up real quick. So the main important things is we have a starting area, which is going to be a map of a town. We're going to have something similar to that. And then you have in between the maps, similar to like Slay the Spire. So in between our individual battle scenes, let me go back a little bit. You can see here, let me make this big. We have a map right here. And we have, this is our town when you start off, and then you have like a battle, and then you have like events and things that can happen, and then another battle, and so on and so forth. We're going to have a similar type approach, where the character could be exploring a forest, could be exploring a dungeon. We don't know quite yet. I want to keep it based off of the song. I think I will still get copywritten, even though I have permission to do this. And the song is following 2 adventurers. They seem to be like low-level adventurers, just off in a generic fantasy world. And we want to tie in events. I want the big bad to be the big evil from the song, and then I want us to have our little tiny dude that we can rescue as one of the events. It's going to be a hack and slash, so think Diablo-esque or maybe Cult of the Lamb. The 2 starting characters are going to be probably Lily and Static. I will probably start off with just making Lily to begin with, and then we'll add in more. I'm thinking it'd be interesting. After each battle, you'll get your abilities. So your abilities are the resources that you gain or lose as you progress through the game. So, for example, when you leave town, you're going to get a weapon and an enchantment, and then after that, you're going to have, like, your basic swipe, heavy attack, and then you'll have, like, a dash ability. And then you're going to have another ability slot. And then when you beat a combat, you could maybe get a new weapon, you could maybe get a new enchantment for that weapon, you could maybe get a new defensive ability, so like a dash or a shield, or like a character-based ability. Like, I was thinking for Lily, it could be cool maybe if Lily was like a summoner with Temmie, Static P, I'm thinking, would be more of a generic fighter. You can get consumables as well. It's another thing that we can get. I'm thinking 4 to 5 total battles before the boss fight in a run. This is going to be basically a roguelite, so the idea is you're going to have to play multiple times to reach the end. We already kind of talked about this. Some of the events could be bonus combat to save a guy. This is from the song. Additionally, we could have some fights could be survive for X time, kill all enemies, clear X waves. Again, we're going to incorporate some of the stuff from Into the Deep into this game. So it's still going to be like top down with waves and all that. My work so far in default abilities. Feel free to comment below if you have any ideas, or reach out to me on the Discord or the Lily's Patreon Discord. That's where I'm driving this from. We're going to have dodge or protect, depending on if you're static or Lily. We'll have a swipe, which will be dependent on which weapon you have, and a heavy, which will be dependent on your enchantment on your weapon. Then we'll have a character ability. My examples here are Temi Summon or Sword Cleave. You'll get a guaranteed enchantment spawn when you leave the town, possibly a random weapon plus an enchantment. I think this makes more sense because the enchantment is supposed to be on the weapon. We could have conversations with people in the town to talk to shops or what have you. You could have unlocks for different types of weapon pools. So say you go to the blacksmith before you run and you're able to purchase the sword package, and it'll make it more likely for you to get swords in your run. We could also have unlocks for different types of nodes. These are all the core things that we have laid out that we need to do. We need to figure out gameplay loop, combat scene, our map node, how we want to represent the town, menus, balancing and upgrading, and enchantments. The tech needed, so these are systems needed programming-wise, is we're going to need to figure out a system for loot pools, a system for the map, this is the node system. We already have the framework for the AI system done from Into the Deep 1. We have the conversation done with one of the plugins I'll go over in a little bit. And then we have a wave system, and the framework's done for that. Just pull that from Into the Deep. Skill system, we want a modular skill system where we can slot skills in and out. So that definitely needs to be designed. I really want to focus on the game feel. I want this game to feel really polished and fun to play or good. One of the issues I see a lot of time in fan games is because they tend to be more amateur developers who make them. And that's not shade, that's just less time spent on them. In part because they're no profit guaranteed for them, right? Because most cases, if you're making a fan game, you can't sell them because you'd be profiting off of someone else's brand. And most brands aren't okay with that. Plus, generally because they're fairly new, they'll not spend as much time on polish or not be skilled enough to do that. So I really want to make the game feel well. Currently, my thoughts are starting off with Lily and a short sword as your weapon. This is just for the prototype. My plan is to do prototype, dial that in enough so that it's playable. And this is going to be with rectangles and squares and circles. Get that out to you guys so you guys can play test. Tell me what you think feels good. I'll play it once, see what I think feel good. Once we figure that out, then we can move to a vertical slice where we're going to do maybe 3 different nodes. So combat, save the dude, and then a dialogue based node, and then the boss fight, and then the town. So we won't have all the random generated stuff, we won't have all the progression, but this will just be A to Z, and we're going to polish that and make that feel really good. And then we're going to fill in all the other stuff. The goal is this is a 6-month project, maybe a 1-year project. Obviously, I can't sell the game because it's a fan game, but I am planning to treat it as if it would be sold. So I'm going to try and set deadlines for Steam sales, or I'm going to try and set deadlines and manage it as if I would a commercial product. Because I think that side of things would be something you guys would find interesting. So that's the concept. As far as the plugins I have installed, this is a URP project, but I have also installed. Okay, it's not going to show on that list, so we'll just go here. We have A-Star Pathfinding Pro. So I have the paid version of this, but we've got that in our project. This is for AI pathfinding. Then we have some editor scripts that I have written to allow for organization of things in the inspector mostly. We have a dialogue system. This is a great plugin. Let me pull it up real quick. Actually, we'll do it incognito, I think. Log system for Unity. So the dialogue system for Unity, it's made by Pixel Crushers, and it'll give us a node-based way to do dialogue. And we'll be able to build out whichever type of dialogue we decide on. We could have a rotational wheel. I am going to go ahead and use the new input system and try and make this playable for consoles as well as mouse and keyboard, so you can use the joystick if you wish to. We also have, let's see here, what other plugins do we have? Master Audio is my audio solution. And again, some people don't like using plugins a lot. I like it a lot. Mostly because why reinvent the wheel? So things like dialogue or things like audio, these are solved problems in game development. So this is a plugin that will allow us to trigger dialogue and sequences, or to have playlists, or to have like different effects on our audio. And again, I've paid versions of all of these. And since it's already been invented, why do it again? And then we have, this is Odin Validator. This is a really useful plugin for detecting errors in your code or inconsistencies. A lot of the time it's more useful for things like, oh, this texture isn't updated, or this script is, class name is missing, or what have you. A lot of the things that you won't necessarily get a direct warning in the console for will show up over here. Or these, yeah. I also have Odin Inspector, so I can pull up both of those. It's these two right here. These are excellent Unity side plugins. So Odin Inspector will allow us to create custom tooling. Things like an enemy creation menu or what have you. Stuff like this. And then the validator is just for efficiency and catching bugs and what have you. Then I think that might be all of them. Let me double check. Oh, we have Easy Save. That's the last one. So Easy Save is a saving solution. This one I have not used yet, but I picked it up on sale, and it's advertised as a good system for saving data and serializing it. One of the things to look for when you're looking for like a quality asset is how long that asset has been out and if it's been continuously supported. So a lot of the reviews say that they really like it, that have been recent, and it's been on the Ascent store since 2011. So that tells me it's been maintained and it's been out for a long time, which means it's generally pretty high quality. This will allow us to save our data and be able to like load back in our levels or what have you. And saving systems are normally kind of annoying to make. Again, it's a solved problem, so there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Because we did all this, it'll save us a lot of dev time and allow us to focus on other things like game design, like the core gameplay loop and all of that. Alright, so what I wanted to start off with today is I'm going to steal some stuff from Into the Deep. So we're going to steal the target indicator we have, and then we're going to steal our basic code for just moving around for now, which we'll modify later on. I'm going to go ahead and flip us into 2D view since this is going to be a 2D game. Just pulling up to see if anyone said anything in chat. It's pretty early my time. I don't expect a ton of people to be on. Alright, I'm going to steal these beautiful graphics we have here. So I'm going to come down to our art. Where do we put it? You. You can put you. For now, I'm going to just drop it in our assets folder. We'll organize that. And then we require... Yeah, sure. We'll take this fish as a basic enemy for testing later on. Who do we want to be Lily? We'll take this guy for now. Again, this is just making our life easy. Alright, that's a rendering pipeline. So we'll have our target indicator. We'll have, maybe this will be the enemy, and then this fish. Actually, we'll get the non-blurry version, which should be this guy. Alright, cool. Then let's make a folder for art. We're going to be streaming, just like Into the Deep. I'm going to stream the entire process of this. I will not be able to make the code open source because of the plugins that I'm using. Unless I exclude them. We might go through setting that up. Or, at the very least, though, you'll be able to see everything on the stream. And if you want to go through the stream and take the parts that you like or what have you for your own projects, feel free to do so. Alright, that's doing that. Script-wise, we will take all three of these. Let's make sure... I don't remember if I installed the input system. So to access that, you just go Window, Package Manager, and we're going to go down here and look for Input System. It's alphabetical. We scrolled past it. There it is. We'll install that. There is a plugin, I think it's called ReSharper. No, that's not it. I don't remember the name of it. That we might go if we have difficulties with the input system. That is for multiple uses, like different controllers or what have you. Most likely we'll just use the new input system. I've overall haven't had issues with it. I've made a couple like co-op games with it that use it, and a couple single player games. Yep, we'll enable backends, so it's going to relaunch our project for us. And then we're going to yoink all these scripts. Actually, you could just yoink our scripts folder. I know it's not exciting, but we like to steal stuff from other projects we've done when we can. There's no reason not to. I did set up Visual Studio Code. The way you do that is you install it, then you're going to go to your package manager and make sure you have, which it should be installed by default, but make sure you have Visual Studio Code Editor installed. And then after that, you just have to go up to Edit, go down to Preferences, go to External Tools, and then select Visual Studio Code from the list. And then now you can open up your projects in Visual Studio Code. They have changed it. You no longer have to install a plugin on Visual Studio Code in order to get IntelliSense and all that. That's what that plugin in Unity is for. I don't know how it works, but it works. This is the master audio, welcome window, and dialogue system. To disable them, they have the show at start. For now, because we haven't set anything up with them, I'm going to just leave them and just close them out each time. So now that will allow us to yoink our scripts folder. And then that's all we need from this. So we can close that into the deep. Yep. It's going to pop up every time things compile too, which is a little bit annoying, but so be it. Let's double check we've got all of our things. So we will probably change some of these eventually. We want aim and fire. Throttle and rotation is not going to be handled like a vehicle. Instead, we're going to handle it just WASD. We'll get into that next time. I want to just go over these scripts real quick. Yes. And then as far as plugins, I just have .NET Core Tools, C#, and then Copilot. So this is our basic movement script. This just has us, depending on which value we're hitting, it's going to move us forward, backwards, left, or right. I believe currently, I don't think this is set up like the actual ship movement. It may or may not. It's been a minute since I've looked at it. Let me know if this is too hard to see. I can do a different color scheme. This is just the high contrast dark. I figured it'd be easier to see this way. Alright, let's see here. Alright, let's just create an empty. We're going to throw some art on it. We will be... Actually, we'll be the big guy. And then we will scale this down. Let's do 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Have one of these. Come up here. Add movement. Player movement is probably what we called it. Player input. You are... I think this is the correct one. Let's check. Yes, it is. Scheme, keyboard and mouse. Be on the player level. That's all fine. And then, we should have Cinemachine already installed. I think I installed it. If not, I'll install it off screen. It's the same, just package manager, Cinemachine. That'll be our camera solution. And then we will do... I think that's all we need. Can we move? I don't know if I had to manually drag that in. Okay, it's smart. Alright, no errors. We just have a movement speed of 0, so let's try 10. We don't have the look at mouse part set up, so we should be able to move. Oh, nope, we're not moving. I'll have to fix that. And then we can do... Oh, we just have debugs. We don't have actual movement set up. That's why we're not moving, quote unquote. And then for now, we're just going to toss in a fish here. We will be making all the art for this. I plan to do the same style for Into the Deep 2. This is also just practice for art for that game. This is just so we have something in reference to and we can see if we're moving or not. And then the last thing we need to grab is player aiming, which I think we can just put here. Main camera, player input, aim indicator is this guy. Aim location, I'm going to leave blank. That might be assigned. I'm not quite sure what that does without looking at the script. Okay, yeah, it's mad at me because it wants me to Game location. Oh, it's just an empty transform, I think. That is going to be teleported to where the mouse is. I'm pretty sure that's how it's working. Yep, there we go. So now we've got everything set up like we had it in Into the Deep. Tomorrow we're going to get movement working. And then probably do some more character stuff. I want to start off by getting the combat dialed in, since that's going to be like the bulk of the game. So we'll probably start working on some of the infrastructure for skills and what have you. But we're coming up on 9 o'clock, so I need to go get ready for work. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys are excited about this game. I'm pretty excited about what we can make. And it'll be cool to see what we can put together. Alright, see you guys next time.